Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy Burt Crown 88 coming to the YouTube video, and today we are going to go over the fantasy cards. One, I'm going to give an update on where everyone's at, what cards are good, what cards are bad, where my predictions were from round one, how many I got right, how many may have gotten a little wrong, and what good cards are on the auction house right now that could be turning a big profit, because there's some fantasy cards in the auction house that could turn you a little bit of coins with a little bit of luck and a little bit of help. So let's get into it, guys. We're going to be talking about fantasy today, and we're going to be talking about how awesome it is and giving you some updates on the players and which ones are the steals to go buy. But let's get into it. I hope you do enjoy it. One thing I do want to say is this was a little bit of a surprise. This isn't something we've seen coming, but this was a little bit of a surprise. We got fantasy cards for round one of the playoffs. And then we got fantasy cards for round two of the playoffs. And that was nice because that leads into a pattern of hopefully we can get fantasy cards for round three. But with that, I set a prediction in round one of what cards would look like going forward. Are they still on track, or did I get a couple of wrong? And what cards are good profit? So I did a video when the first fantasy sets came out, giving you a rundown of my predictions on the rounds and what I thought was going to happen. My three picks that I had as three locks for 99 overall were Matthew Nyes, number one, and he's turned out fairly well. Svechnikov for a 99, and he's, we're going to say he's a 99. He's not there yet, but we're going to say he's pretty much good to get there, right? So Svechnikov and Nyes, let's go. Two dynamite picks by EA for fantasy, and I got them as 99s, and I think they're going to get there. I did whiff on one, and oh my, what a whiff it was. Pierre-Luc Dubois. I thought, Washington's going to get by Montreal. Pierre-Luc Dubois doesn't have, he shoots a little bit, good scoring chances. Montreal's going to let up some goals. And then when they go into the second round against Carolina, Pierre-Luc Dubois is going to look good, right? I thought a couple of goals shouldn't be bad. You go 2 rounds, you can get 6 goals in 2 rounds, shouldn't be too bad. Pierre-Luc Dubois was an incredible miss. This guy has been a huge disappointment for fantasy, but he will be in our next topic at the end of this video. Now, outside of 99s, I did have cards getting higher, but not 99. And one of them was Trevor Moore. Had him at a 97, 98. I figured Trevor Moore would, I thought this would be the year that LA got past Edmonton, and Trevor Moore would be a part of that, and he'd have a second round to get more goals. So I thought Trevor Moore would be a 97. He was only 95, so that one's a miss. Another massive letdown. I thought Colorado was going to get by Dallas, and they didn't. And I thought Brock Nelson was going to get some goals, and he didn't. So Brock Nelson was a massive miss. I thought this guy was a guaranteed to at least be a 97, and that was not the case. Brett Howden, I predicted that Brett Howden would get to a 96 overall. I didn't think he'd get higher, but I predicted he'd be a 96 overall, and here he is, sitting at a 96. Does Edmonton beat Vegas? Can Howden score more? We'll have to wait and see, but a 96 overall for Howden. And this update is Lindell. Lindell is actually a 96 right now because he scored last night in the Leafs victory over the Florida Panthers, putting the Leafs at 2-0. I had Lindell at a 96, and if the Leafs can lock down 2 more games and Lindell doesn't score, then I got Lindell right, and he's a 96 overall. But he is currently a 96, right where I had him, so I don't mind that. We have Howden right, Svech, Matthew Nyes, Lindell. We're looking good so far. The only ones that really got us were Nelson, Moore, and Pierre-Luc Dubois. Victor Arvidsson, I had it a 95, but I also had them out in the first round, and he got to a 94. So he was, in the ballpark, 94, 95, but he's on to the second round. So hopefully he can move on and get more goals, because that'd be really helpful for the next part of this video, which you're about to see. Drake Batherson was a player that I didn't think would get anywhere near 99. I said Toronto's going to win this series. Batherson's going to get 95 overall. He got 94, 95, but he was a not build for me because he had no chance of reaching a high potential into the 99s, like the 97 and 99, because he wasn't getting past the Leafs. And that ended up working out. So sweet for me, not so much for Batherson owners. This one might end up biting me. I said Adam Lowry has no chance at making a 99. He's an empty net merchant. He doesn't shoot. He doesn't play on the power play. He doesn't get big minutes. I said he's a trap card. 95 is, I had his ceiling at 95. He's already a 96. We're going to have to wait and see how this series goes. But this one might bite me. But I still believe that Adam Lowry has no chance at getting to a 99. Slafkovsky, I had it in 95, which is where he finished, and Montreal lost in the first round like I had, but so we're looking all right so far for the predictions, which is where it's going to lead me to in this next part of the video, because I want to talk about something that I think you have a chance to make a massive amount of coins on. Timo Meyer's the 95 didn't make it past the first round, much like everyone predicted. Marco Rossi 95 didn't make it past the first round, unfortunate, but that was kind of what everyone's seen. Minnesota has $15 million that they just lose to buyouts. This one could turn out to be okay. Dallas is still playing. I didn't think they were going to be playing. Mikael Granlund, I said was going to be a 94, not any higher. And here he is at a 94 going into the second round. So could he get another goal? Maybe. Apparently Rantanen's just going to score all Dallas's goals, so probably not. And then the Nick Paul exchange ended up working out for Bjorkstrand owners. And then obviously Jake Neighbors didn't end up panning out as well, but St. Louis gave it a heck of a run. Now for the second part of this video. One thing that people are well known for doing in the community is hyping things up, and then when it doesn't work out immediately, dropping it off to nothing. And this is where we can make fantastic coins. So you're going to see here, Lundell, 300,000. I mean, that's fairly fair, right? He's a 96, stuff like that. We're not going to make coins off of that. This is where you also have to be careful because Brock Nelson, not going up anymore, out. 94, probably fair. That card will keep plummeting as he can't go up. Trevor Moore, 95, same. But what I wanted to talk about is cards like this. Pierre-Luc Dubois is still in the playoffs. He can still go up. And people are listing this price fairly low because they don't think he's going to do anything, and this is where you can make some coins. The cheapest Pierre-Luc Dubois right now is 110,000 coins. 110,000 coins is really, really cheap for a card that could be a 95 if he just has a tip go in, a good shot, stuff like that, right? This still is a good series between Carolina and Washington. And if you go to 93 overall players that sell for less than 110,000 coins, like Pierre-Luc Dubois is selling for, there's only 52 of them, other than Canva, which I don't know why people aren't wanting that card. Like, that card could go up, you don't know. But either way, that's nor here nor there. There's a perfect example of a card that could. I just don't know enough about the PWHL to suggest that as an opportunity to make a lot of coins. And generally, people don't pay a premium on the PWHL players. But if you're looking at the 93 overall players, there's only 52 of them that are listed under 110,000. So the risk is not that high because you're already paying at 110,000 for this Pierre-Luc Dubois. You're paying the price tag for a 93, but this card has the potential to go up. And what I mean by that is when I say potential to go up, we got Jake Neighbors here. Jake Neighbors is the only 94 that is listed at under 110,000. So if Pierre-Luc Dubois scores, he goes up in value. And that brings me to the next person and the one I invested in. And that's because Edmonton looks very good. And I think they might go they might get into the next round. And that's 3 rounds for Victor Arvidsson to score a handful of goals. And I purchased this card at 180,000 coins, and he's looking like he could be a steal. There's still one up for 179, and if he can pop 1 or 2 goals, so 179, the price I purchased him for 2 days ago is still the cheapest price. Now, if Edmonton can go slam in a couple of goals against Vegas again, and Victor Arvidsson gets one, becomes a 95, this investment that I made starts to look a little better. And then maybe he gets to a 96. Maybe they go on to the 3rd round. This is where you can make a little bit of coins, have a little fun, and take the risk because people are selling these cards for so cheap because they were high on them, and they're no longer high on them right now because 1, new fantasy cards came out. They forget about the old ones. And 2, they weren't doing anything yet. So it's the what have you done for me lately mentality. And Pierre-Luc Dubois and Victor Arvidsson could be perfect steals. Pierre-Luc Dubois is a very good deal for a card that could get some goals and jump up. And remember, Washington plays tonight, so what could happen there? When it comes to these fantasy cards, there is opportunity. Where people are giving up, that's where you buy, because that's where the opportunity could lie. Who's saying Pierre-Luc Dubois can't score 2 or 3 goals in this series? Who's saying Washington can't go to the 3rd round? It could happen, and Pierre could be a steal. Who's saying Arvidsson doesn't score tonight? Who's saying Arvidsson doesn't go to the third round and get some goals? They're giving up on cards because there's no, this is what I've done for you lately. Don't be that guy. If you have the coins and you want to take the risk and have some fun, go get them. I took the risk on Arvidsson, and if I can get another 100,000 coins, I will take the risk on Pierre-Luc Dubois. I'm at 50,000 now, so I guess I only need 60,000. I might go get Pierre-Luc Dubois and take that risk. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And until next time, ciao, ciao.